Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another episode of Battle Commentary. This time we are again on Salernum, and again we are featuring Cynane with Cynane Archers, but that's because, well, during the very limited time that we had to play the whole arena during the previous test, I didn't get to play that much of a variety of units and commanders combos. And I wanted to play on high tier with my friends, so that's why I'm playing tier 7 Cynane Archers here. And I am joined here by Max with double spearman, single pikeman setup, and Pardenum with double cavalry and single foxman, probably inversing Torix. Yep, that is correct. So, what I want to focus on in this battle, because you can say, well, it's again Salernum, again Archers, what's so different? Well, in this battle I want not to focus on friendly fire, I want to focus on how to stay alive as Archers, especially when you're faced with overwhelming odds. So here you can see one cavalry player and three melee infantry players coming in towards us. I immediately make the decision to barrage one foxman unit and essentially eliminate it from the battlefield, but I do pay a price for it, or I would if that guy had charged. I make the mistake of using snipe to increase my damage and range, but that in turn slows me down, and if there is a situation like that, makes you unable to run away, because that's minus 50% movement speed for 8 seconds, makes you absurdly slow and very easy to target, very hard to run away. So if that guy charged, I would have almost been dead already. Lucky for me, I got really lucky, I would like to point that out, otherwise I wouldn't be dead. So now I focus on this group of foxmen. Very nice blob held by only one hoplite infantry, but still his hoplites need to retreat. But that also gives me an opportunity to shoot these foxmen. I managed to hunt this unit in the brief second that we had that watchtower, so that it cannot surprise us. We are taking care of this unit. Sadly, our archer friend didn't manage to see that infantry incoming, so now I'm trying to use my focus fire in such a way to not deal friendly fire, which I end up doing anyway, and this pike is getting some of it. But I need to help my archers get out of this predicament. But well, right now can't really shoot without dealing friendly fire, and that archer play is actually doing the right way. He's running away through friendly units towards allied units, and here I make arguably the second mistake, and I run towards our capture point when there is no melee units on our side. Because melee unit is here, and that's why this is a bad idea. We didn't know that these dogs were here. If they weren't, it would have been fine, but they were. Also, these foxmen chasing us. So what I do, this time I didn't make the mistake, and I saved my barrage for a situation such as this. And as soon as I saw these dogs emerging from the fog of war, I targeted them and pressed barrage, and didn't use my snipe. Maybe because it wasn't cooldown, maybe because I was actually smart enough to not to use it. So yeah, I used my barrage on these dogs, trying to deal as much damage as possible, as quickly as I can, to mitigate the damage that was incoming from the charge. But as you can see, I only managed to kill like half of his HP max. Most of this loss he's suffering now is due to the melee infantry. And now that I've gotten into another predicament, as you can see, there are no melee units between me and enemy units. I split up. That's what you need to do in situations such as this. If there are friendly units nearby you, you run through your friendly units, and if possible also towards more of your melee units. So when we were in this situation previously, when these dogs were emerging, or before they emerged, I should have run forward, because there was this blob of melee infantry that is now going to capture B. So it would have been a safer space, although I can't really rely on this guy, because I don't think that guy has any interest in protecting his own archers. But he did help a little bit. And yeah, here we just needed to clean up, so even if there was any friendly fire involved, which it was, it doesn't matter, because all of us get to heal anyway, and you get to heal faster if the enemy is killed faster and doesn't interrupt us. But that's what I covered in the previous battle commentary. That in certain situations, such as this for example, when you have a healing zone very close and you're going to heal anyway, deal as much friendly fire as you need, to get rid of the enemy as quickly as possible, not delay yourself. So now that we have a bit of a lull in the battle, we defeated our enemy, healed up, and are heading again towards the fight. So let's recapture 3 lessons that we learned in this scenario. First, Mistru is a noob and doesn't always make the best decisions, so keep that in mind. Second, keep close to your allies if you're under pressure, or run through them. And if you are not, if you don't have any allied units between you and the enemy, then split up. If there are certain units around you, like allied units, melee units, then keep together, not blocked up, just 3 units next to each other, because then you're easier to protect. It's also easier to maneuver, easier to find gaps, because you're essentially acting as a single unit instead of as 3 separate units. So keep in one spot when there is someone to protect you, and split up only when there is nobody to protect you around you. And the third lesson from that engagement to take away is to be mindful of your cooldowns and save the most important cooldowns for when you really need them. Like rapid advance to run away faster, like hunt to hunt those more important units that can surprise you instead of just using it to increase your damage, like barrage to be able to deal burst damage to like really high target, really high threat target, like these dogs that emerge from behind. And be very careful about using snipe, because it makes you slower and also unable to escape in certain situations. So I did follow some of these rules, and I didn't follow the other rules, so you could see what the overall result of that was. And here I totally didn't get caught off guard by these folksmen charging in from the fog of war, because I was too focused on trying to barrage enemy archers. No, those were Chinese lags. Totally Chinese lags, not because I didn't see them. Just saying. You definitely cannot check what was actually the case, if it's not obvious enough already, in the live recording of this battle that I happen to have on my channel, which is probably displayed in the top right corner right now, if I didn't forget to add it there. But yeah, we're getting close to the second situation I want to talk about in this battle. But at the moment, oh, this is really good as well. This is something I talk about in my Greek Archers guide, about, you know, target selection and targeting your threats and targeting threats to your team. So this guy, the javelin player, I had a good idea to shoot the elephant. That you're the best unit around to deal with that elephant, and your allies need to get rid of that elephant, otherwise it's going to cause problems. But what he didn't take into account is that I was around, and as soon as he stopped to shoot that volley, I immediately barraged him. You could see that. Immediately snipe plus barrage. If you didn't, you can rewind and see it. And yeah, and he paid for it, for his mistake. So it's also important to try to get and abuse your allies' mistake. And we are here slowly getting ourselves into another predicament. We are again surrounded. There's some melee infantry here, although not being stopped by an elephant. A lot of archers here, which right now I get to shoot because we have a vision advantage. I don't know if the enemy has vision on me. Maybe, maybe not. These dogs could spot me. But yeah, they have a respawn zone here, and since we control most of the battlefield, well, they took back B. But there's a lot of people spawning back in here. Mostly archers. And a lot of stakes. Holy shit. But yeah, this folksman that has spawned back on B, they're apparently not going towards our E, they're going down here, trying to surround us here in the city, which is a good idea. Another cavalry player comes in, and there's only one max unit here to protect me. So I know I'm either, if I run here, I die to these foxes, although they turn around to face this cavalry, so I guess maybe I could have survived, but there's also dogs in here and more foxes incoming. And 3 cavalry units here threatening me. So I do pretty much the only thing I could have, and I run through stakes. Which is arguably a very stupid idea, But in this very particular situation, look at this swarm. Just coming in from this side. Cavalry run away, but it's still very much a threat and still roaming in this area, right? Max now is cutting off that angle, but I can't hold that for long as well because there's just so many enemies here. And I'm also almost dead myself because there's like 9 enemy archer units here, plus 2 javelin units. And I have nowhere to run with Foxmen closing in from behind. But miraculously, one guy survives. They spare me. And I get super lucky again in this battle. Also, another very lucky thing is that I just leveled up. Because if I didn't, I would have lost almost all of my XP, right? I don't know because I didn't see it. But in general, when you die, when your unit dies, it loses all of this bright XP. As you can see, these 2 units that are dead, they have only the dark XP, let's call it, right? And the bright XP stays on the alive unit. So these 2 units lost that XP, but since they leveled up, they secured all the bright XP they had leading towards that level 2 or rank 2. And get all the bonuses. So yeah, I get to respawn and I get to heal up. And I get to avoid respawning, which would otherwise take 50 seconds, I believe, on rank 2, since scaling up with your XP. And yeah, now we are just closing our battle because I think our team got really lucky overall. It was very interesting because all the ranged units went to the city and all the barbarian melee units went towards the top at the beginning. So it was a very interesting deployment out of our enemies. I mean, we went for the more balanced approach, I believe. We'll have this guy, which is actually controlled by AI, going to the city with his archers, and our 2 archer players went to top. Well, we had mixed setup while they went full melee pretty much on the top and full ranged here in the city. Really good friendly fire. You kill those dogs, you bastard. But that's a puppy factory, so arguably the faster I kill these dogs with my friendly fire, the sooner this guy will get a new set of dogs. So I use that right now, because these dogs are almost dead and they're small, so I get to shoot above them and deal absolute huge damage to these Romans. But now they're in the studio, so Max should get in there and also prevent them just from capping A. That's what he does, so I have nothing to really look for there. I just go around here and try to... Yeah, okay, so since there's nothing really to talk about in terms of like battle commentary right now, since this is just cleaning up enemies, let's talk about this camera thingy where it just pops you back on its own. CA, please fix. I know this is intended so you just cannot wander off with your camera to nothingness, right? But in this case, when you're very close to the edge of the battlefield, you need to go really low with your camera, and you can't go that low. So you can just barely see what's happening here, right? And if I go that low with my camera, I don't really see much out there, so I would like to keep my regular camera angle, something like this, but then I don't even see the fucking street at all because it's hidden by UI. So I would like to have my camera like this to see everything properly. I say, well, you should just rotate your camera, look like this. Yeah, but if I look like this, I don't see much here to the left, and I don't see anything here. So I could be easily flanked by some enemy cavalry and surprised. Look from here, same case. Look from here, okay, you see left and right, but you don't really see what's happening here. And if you go too far to actually see, well, your units are so far away that they're too small and you cannot properly order them. So the perfect solution is just, you know, push that boundary which pushes your camera back, I don't know, 100 meters, 200 meters far, further away. And there we go, easy fix. And guess what? I am providing that feedback since Steam to the developers, and they still didn't listen. Well, maybe they will now. I can make a Twitch clip out of it, I guess, if I ever upload this video to Twitch. But just cleaning up, getting some last second barrages and and damage. Okay, that's been it. So remember, guys, the lessons to take away from this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any of your own tips and tricks on how to stay alive as archers, and let me know how much of a noob you think I am for making those mistakes and running through stakes in this battle. Okay, you can see this battle live as it was recorded, and you can see whether I saw or not these folksmen back then and these dogs and all the other stupid stuff that I did in this battle. Well, that's been it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, enable the notification bell and all that stuff to help us bring Arena back to the West. And with that, I'll see you on Arena's battlefields, Commanders. Why is this music so good? Damn.